So as we move more fully into the information age, it's going to be necessary to have something more like a spectrum of identity. On one hand, from anonymity, the way you would be just an anonymous person on the street walking through, all the way up to fully identified and authenticated transactions as though you were at a bank with a signature card depositing money in your account. There are many situations where the law requires anonymity for important transactions. It's necessary for workers to be able to make notifications or complaints about workplace safety violations or concerns in an anonymous fashion, so that there's no fear of reprisals or other negative feedback on the job, and yet these people that are allowing for workplace safety can still feel free and comfortable to inform the regulatory authorities of the information that's needed for the workplace to be safe. Another example would be the need constitutionally to protect political speech. The Supreme Court of the United States again and again has upheld the right to anonymous political speech, so as to avoid the chilling effect of requiring a citizen to go to the police department or some other government entity to have a permit and to present identification before they are allowed, for example, to offer leaflets on a corner supporting or resisting some statute or some candidate. Free people require free markets of ideas. The Supreme Court has said anonymity is needed in order to foster that kind of freedom of political speech. There are many other examples where anonymity is a built-in feature of physical reality.
One of the things we do as members of communities and citizens is put ourselves on display in public. That's fundamental to being a citizen. You walk out in the street, you display yourself. Display is important. Taking public stands on things is important. Standing up and making a speech is important. You know, there's the very, very legitimate and important issue of protecting private identity and keeping public and private identity separate. Now, historically, architecture very largely took care of this. Because, you know, architecture is fundamentally a sort of collection of barriers and openings that divide off public space from private space and construct hierarchies from public to private. So you go from being out in the street to your front porch to the front living room to bedroom, right? And so there are different behaviours, there are different expectations, there are different legal frameworks, in fact, for all of that, right? Because you know, it's expected and it's well understood. Cyberspace has screwed that up really, really fundamentally because it creates a lot of situations where you really don't know what's going on. You don't know whether you're really in public, you don't know whether you're really in private. If you're in a room with the door closed, you can be reasonably certain that nobody's listening. If you're in a cyberspace space, you mostly have no idea. There's no way to know, and there are lots of people who have an interest in not knowing that they're snooping on you. So there are massive, massive unresolved questions of privacy, and usually these get thought of as kind of technical and legal questions, and at a certain level, of course, absolutely they are. But at another level, there are also these questions of culture and expectation and a kind of visual construction or construction with other sorts of cues of environments that have clarity about this so that basically you know how to behave.